Hey guys, it's Mitch here. Welcome back to my channel. It's the first week of September, so we're heading into the end of late summer, beginning of fall, and I've had a very busy summer, so I haven't really uploaded any videos, but this week I'm kind of taking a look at some of my house plants and taking some time to repot things and give them a little bit of love and attention. So this is one of my favorite plants. It's pretty ratty and ugly looking right now, but this is called the Streptocarpella. It's in the same family as African violets, and like the name suggests, also Streptocarpus. It's closely related. So this is a blue variety and it's called Streptocarpella. As you can see, here is a little flower bud that is coming up, and it has these really nice long wiry stems that have these really pretty blue flowers at the end of them. And these ones I planted in these little cups maybe 2 years ago, so they've been growing in there, and as you can see, they're a little bit overgrown, a little bit neglected. I didn't water them very well this summer, so a lot of these leaves dried up, and the stems, after a while get really long and stringy. So it's time to repot these, and the best way I found to repot these is actually just to do a whole bunch of stem tip cuttings, because these things root very, very easily, and it's really easy to just rejuvenate your plant from looking like this, which is awful, into a nice little windowsill plant. These can grow outside in the summer. I grow mine inside year-round, but I do see them, people put them in hanging baskets, and they're nice because as they get longer they do trail and have these really nice cascades of flowers. So what I'm going to do here to rejuvenate this plant is cut off all of these tips that have the new growths on and clean them up, and then I'll show you what you do with them when you're at that point. See you in a minute. All right, and we're back, and after the trimming process is basically, once you've cut all of the nice tips off, this is what you're left with, is these old sections of plant and then a whole bunch of little tip cuttings. And so all I did was snip them, pull most of the leaves off, any yellow leaves. I cut off all of the old bloom stems, and I left about, I'd say, an inch and a half on each of these tips. So that's kind of what they look like. I got a whole bunch here. And then you just get your pot here ready. This looks pretty dry, but it doesn't really matter with these tip cuttings whether the soil is wet or dry, because you're going to water it after. And then all I do is I make a little hole here. And I just insert the little cutting into the soil. And what I kind of try and do is put the taller, see there's like these ones are bigger and these ones are kind of smaller. I put the nice taller ones in the middle of the pot, and I really squish them in there. And I do all the little ones around the edge of the pot. Doesn't matter if the leaves overlap. I kind of like it when the pot is nice and full with these cuttings, because then what ends up happening is it grows in like a nice bush, and you get lots and lots of blooms and a nice shape to the overall plant full of these little cuttings. You know, this summer I went through all of my plants. I had so many plants. I moved them all to our new house and I sold a lot of them, got rid of a lot of them. Basically, all I did was keep my favorite plants. You know, those ones that give you a nice feeling of excitement, like, yeah, I love this plant. This is one of those plants that whoops, don't know what happened there, but anyway, as I was saying, this is one of those plants that is a must-have in my plant collection. I love it. It blooms all year round. I love it too because if you put it in a nice sunny window in the winter time, it will bloom all winter. As you can see, it's really easy to rejuvenate it and propagate it, so you can have so many of these if you really wanted, and you know, put them in a nice window. I love the fuzzy leaves. They're basically like a little bit of a succulent because they don't need a lot of water, and they're very difficult to kill. So they just keep growing and growing, and if it gets too tall and looks ugly like my other ones did before we cut all these tips off, you just go through this process and you get a brand new plant. And I love the flowers. I'll do a little update once these start blooming, and you'll see it has really pretty flowers if you've never seen one of these in bloom. So yeah, that's pretty much all I do. See how I just stuck them in all around wherever there's a bit of earth. This is the last little one. Yeah, so that's it. That's pretty much it. It looks nice, eh, in the black pot. Much nicer than these. So now all I do is I give it a good soak with water, enough water that it's like running through the base of the pot, and I just leave it alone, put it in a nice bright window, and they will just keep growing as though nothing ever happened. They're really amazing. They're really easy to root, and I know one of these had a little, here it is, little flower stem starting. I kind of squished it down there, but you know, this will keep growing and it will actually bloom. Some people cut them off just to give energy to the plant, but I find, you know, these just keep growing. They're just indestructible little plants. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned a little something. And if you've never seen a Streptocarpella, they're really cool plants. I would Google them and look them up. And I'll do a little update once this is all established and blooming. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.